It's ironic because when we graduated from high school, right? Michael and I was the last girl and boy to in the procession.
I guess they never do alphabetical, eh?
Nope, nope. But he and I was the last one, and then the behind us was the rest of the girls. We always
Right
had more
on.
girls than boys. Hey,
Well,
where
I'm
did you
sure
live at?
I live in Fairmont, Minnesota, which is South Central. I'm about 8 miles from the Iowa border.
Holy shiza.
Yeah, yeah. Been here since late 2009. But before we go on,
Hmm.
just in case, let me
Okay.
make an introduction. I'm
Okay.
here today with Tanya Chun Johnson, right?
Well, before Johnson was Baptista.
Okay. It's okay. We all have our stories.
Yeah.
And you are in Las Vegas.
Yes. Northwest Las Vegas.
Right on, man. There's a lot of gangy up there, I bet. I know Jeff Noah, Patty Forsyth, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who
And then
else?
Charles Padua. Charles
You see him
Padua.
once in a while.
I've never seen him once, and I've been here going on 25 years.
Wow. He's like a ninja.
Yeah. And then Mark Furtado was here. Oh,
Oh,
and then get Steven.
Steven.
Shit. Uh Hano Hano? No. Steven. Oh my gosh. Senior moment.
It's okay. With
Shoot.
that first name like Steven, there's plenty of them out there.
He's
So,
from Nanakuli too.
Pili Aloha.
Pili Aloha. Hello.
Okay.
He lives here too. So, but he came way later than us. So,
Yeah. Well, it's part of the reason I thought up this project because man, I'm so afraid when I get there in June, man, I'm not going to remember any names or recognize. And they're going,
yeah.
I need a little bit of background. Plus, some people I've been talking to who are not going to be able to attend, at least this way they find out about classmates, that you would
Yeah.
be chit-chatting with. So, um, let's take off. What year you started coming here?
Freshman year, 71,
Okay. And before that, you were
Sacred
where?
Hearts Convent.
Sacred Heart. Okay.
Yeah, the one up Nuuanu. I think
Yeah.
it's, um, uh, I don't know, some academy.
You grew
Uh,
up in that area.
no, right below school. Hollow Drive.
Oh,
Across from Kamehameha Shopping Center.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right on, right on.
But born and raised in Nanakuli.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You got the West Side connections, huh?
Yep. My
Good,
sisters
good.
are still there. All the Soons are from Nanakuli.
Charlie Soon, I remember him, right?
Charlie's dad and my mother's are brother and sister.
And then what was his sister's name? I think she was a year
Sherelle.
below her.
Sherelle,
Sherelle.
76 grad.
Okay,
She's
okay,
Victorino. She graduated, she married Jesse Victorino, class of 74.
okay. My mind's kind of going through the files. I think I remember darker, like Filipino color, kind of skinny.
Who?
Jesse.
No.
No.
Fair.
Oh.
Yeah, he's very fair.
Okay, then yeah, my brain is just in
And then
left field right now.
our kids graduated together. One of his daughters, um, I just call her Jessie, but she graduated with my son Ikaika in 95. Are you coming to the reunion?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you'll meet him and his wife. This will
Right
be
on.
his, because he's celebrating his 30th. Yes, I had him when I was 20.
Wow.
But this will be his first reunion,
Oh,
his
wow.
30th. Yeah, because he lives on the Big Island
Oh, okay.
in
And like all of
Kahana.
us, man, you get busy, hard to break
Yeah.
away. But so when we graduated, what was your next step? Where did you go? What did you do?
After, okay, so after we graduated, think it was 2 days later, I went to Japan, actually Okinawa. We had
For
a,
work or what?
yeah, I was performing with Tihatis. We had a show at in Okinawa, right outside Kadena Air Force Base.
Oh, my grandson's over there. He's a Marine. He's in
Oh,
Okinawa.
yeah, the Marines and the Air Force share the same base.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
Was that the first time you'd ever been to Japan?
no, I lived there a total of 3 years.
Because I talk to people I've never been, but I talk to different people, and man, I gotta go.
Love it.
I
Love
gotta
it.
go to Japan one of these days, man.
I surprised myself. I thought I was going to marry one Japanese because I just love their culture. I love the country. I love everything. Nope, I ended up marrying Steven Baptista, class of 72.
Well, you guys were in a relationship in high school, weren't you?
Yep,
Okay.
because I met him before I got to Kamehameha.
Oh,
I actually got in kindergarten, seventh grade, and then ninth grade.
what kept you from starting earlier?
In kindergarten, well, we lived in Nanakuli. It was too far.
Oh,
But hello, I went to Aliamanu because we moved. We right after that we moved up to Aliamanu.
okay.
So I went to Aliamanu Elementary.
And then what happened in seventh grade?
I'm not gonna say it on.
Okay.
I'm not, but I
Okay.
didn't
Okay.
care for it.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess some of the people that I met up there, seventh grade, because I was coming from Kapalama, yeah, and you know, public school is so different from private school, and I thought some of the kids were like,
I
"Sorry,
get it.
everybody, I
Yeah.
just being honest." And
Hey,
the ninth grade, um, I was in Japan, dancing, and
in ninth grade.
yeah.
Wow,
So
wow.
before I started school, when I found out I got accepted in Kamehameha, Mr. Benham, he called my parents, and then he called me in Japan. So he told me, "Hi Tanya, this is Mr. Benham, da 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 da." I said, "Mr. Benham from Kamehameha Schools." Yeah. He goes, "So are you gonna go to Sacred Hearts Academy, Star of the Sea, or Kamehameha?" Oh, that was a no-brainer. So I went to Kamehameha. I had enough all-girls school because I graduated from Sacred Hearts Convent.
Okay.
HBA, I think that's who's at the convent. They bought it out.
Oh, okay, okay.
HBA. It's HBA, yeah? Hawaii Baptist Academy. Yeah. So I almost said HPA, but that's Hawaii Prep in Kamuela on the Big Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So we graduated, you go to Japan. How long were you there?
in Japan, I was there 6 months. So
Yeah.
usually all my tours are like 6 months. So quite a few times I missed school for 3 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I absolutely love Japan. So
Yeah. And so you come back from Japan. What's next?
um then I went into another show, and the people that are running it was from PCC, Polynesian Cultural Center. It was the Maratarangi family, and yeah, so we had a show in Las Vegas at the Tropicana Hotel, which is no longer there because
Hmm.
they're building the new Las Vegas Athletics
Wow.
NBA. Yeah, I'm an NBA. Major League Baseball, MLB. Hello. Yeah. And we had a show with Hilo Hattie, Auntie Clara, Daryl Lupinue, Larry Reese, and then the Maratarangi sisters, and two Haole Wahinis from California. And I'll leave
Okay.
it at that. But the show was really nice. And we shared a showroom with Dean Martin's daughter, Dina.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she was performing in the lounge in front of front of the showroom. So that was an experience. But then the guy that actually hired our group didn't pay us. And just so happens, this guy I used to dance, he was a Tahitian guy, Alex Mapuhi. He, him and Falanico had a show in Japantown in San Francisco. And they says, Tanya, you want to dance with us? Oh, that's another no brainer. I left the next day. I
Because
went back to,
you were familiar with them in San Francisco.
oh, yeah, I knew Alex very well because we both worked for Tihatis at the Beachcomber Hotel
Oh, okay.
all that time. So that Tihatis days, I was even dancing with Shaw Thompson. I danced with other old timers. Colleen Hannes, who graduated 72. I think that's only two Kamehameha graduates at that time. Most of them were
Okay.
Tahitian girls and all the older old timers. And then from there, after I went to Falanicos, I actually went, I back it up. We went to the show in Okinawa. There was a big hoo-hoo that happened. And I'm not ashamed to say, but apparently one of the girls complained about me and I got fired. I'm
And
like,
you're in Okinawa.
I'm in Okinawa.
Wow.
The main singer, I mean, musician, and I both got fired. So,
Uh,
but I wasn't part of their circle, you should say. It was just fine with me. In fact, my ex-husband, Steven, just so happened was stationed over there for a little bit. So, anyway, so after that, then when I came home, then they approached me and asked me if I wanted to dance in Vegas. I'm like, yeah, why not?
but
Right?
hopefully different people.
Yeah, absolutely. But that guy that took us up there didn't pay us. Paid us one time. So I was like, no, this ain't working out. And that's why I went to San Francisco. And
Okay.
that show was called Falanico South Sea Spectacular. That was at the Kabuki Theater in Japantown. Best Polynesian show ever that I ever danced for.
Wow.
Yeah, but so I would have still been dancing there, but Steven called me because he just got out of the Navy. And he called me, he says, either you come home now, which is right around Christmas, you either come home now and we get married or, whatever. And so I chose love over profession. So I came home December of 76 and we got married April 8th of 77. Then I had my son Ikaika Ali Iloa, 95 graduate of Kamehameha. And yeah, we stayed married for 10 years. And then I married my second husband. I call him Herbie. Everybody calls him Herbie, but his name is Herbert Johnson. Much older than me. He's 23 and a half years older than me.
Where did you meet Herbie?
At the 19 Puka Navy Marine Golf Course off of the outside Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
main military golf course.
On Oahu then, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I met him there because I used to carpool from Nanakuli with some of my friends, but we didn't want, the banks. That time I was working at Bank of Hawaii, and uh, oh, wonderful memories. But so 3 to 4 of us used to carpool from Nanakuli side. So instead of getting stuck in the traffic because the bank closed at 3 during those days, so we always went and met up at, because 3 worked in downtown and I worked at Pearl Harbor. So they always dropped me off, and then they came and met me at 19 Puka, and we just stayed there till the traffic died down. Then we drove home together, and that's where I met Herbie in 1985. I met him.
Was he active duty or
Who
was he
my
military?
husband now? No, no,
Yeah.
no. He worked for Hawaiian Electric.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so yeah, and I was still married to Steven, and he was still married, but anyway, that's besides anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but we became really good friends, and so when Steven and I split up, and Herbie was still married, but we just got to be good friends, and then we got married in 1990, and
Now is Ikaika your only son? I mean
yeah,
only child.
no. So I have Ikaika Li'iloa. Everybody calling me Kaika or Kikes, and Blaine was his football coach, and yeah. But anyway, and I have Susan Lay Baptista, and she's a class of 2000. So I will always have my children at our class reunions, the zeros and the five. And it wasn't planned that way, but
Okay, I wondered if you was working it
no,
out
never
or
planned it. In fact, Kim Kianini and I, our two children, are the same age. So Ikaika and Jonah both grad 95. And, but I don't know, Jonah didn't go to Kamehameha. Ikaika did. And then Jonathan, Kim's youngest, and my daughter, Susan Lay, both graduated 2000 from Kamehameha.
wow.
Yeah. And then so after Herbie and I will be married 35 years this year.
That's impressive. That's amazing for this day and age.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. Um, the age difference, didn't matter.
Age
And
is just a number, yeah, like they say.
absolutely. But my husband is currently in a nursing home
Mm.
because he has all kinds of medical issues, CHF, CKD. He has 2 aneurysms in his abdomen. He has shingles, which he's been suffering since September 21st, 2018. Every day he suffered from shingles. So you guys better take your shingle shots. So,
Wait.
I mean, it's not guaranteed you won't get it even after you take the shots, but it's preventable. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard stories. I took my shots and don't wanna. I say prayers every day. I don't get it, so
All right, I got to light one cigarette.
that's
Yeah, still
okay.
smoking. I'm such an active Latter-day Saint, but my bishop knows. I never lied to my bishops. I've had 3 different bishops since I became active in the church again, because I was born and raised. Those days was Mormons, but now we're Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Love it. Um, but yeah, still smoke. 53 years now. Terrible, yeah.
Oh well, I mean, Everybody has something that isn't
Yeah.
quite. You talk about Latter-day Saints. I talked to Philip Swain yesterday.
Oh, how is Philip?
He's
He's
doing fine.
coming?
He's gonna, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was saying too, in all his life he was, but in high school, just kind of not as active, or he says not active at all. But then, after graduation, people settle and
Yeah.
start to
Everybody
see
went
the
over
true
it.
value. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thunk that we're this age now? Kermit. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Aging totally sucks.
Because I remember in the past looking forward, I thought to myself, God, there's no way. I mean,
Right? And look at us. Hello, gray hair,
yeah,
salt and pepper. But my
yeah.
beautiful, beautiful best friends since 1971, Susan Leoy and I since 1971. So look at that. How many years? And we're still the best of friends. Susan Leoy, Kim Kianini, um, well, Kim Neves Kianini, um, Hualani Baptiste, Fukuda Baptiste, and Nancy Num Ralston. We still get together every time I go home. And
So all
then,
the rest of them live in Hawaii.
yes,
Okay.
yep, the other four is there. Um, and then I'm the only one away. But say something happens to my husband, I have my home here, and then my grandkids will probably take care of it while I'm at home. Because my granddaughter goes to Utah Tech. She just returned from her internship in Italy. She was there
Okay.
for
So
4 months.
let me paint the picture. You have a son and a daughter.
Yes.
Any others?
No.
And how
That's
many more opuna?
6. So
Okay.
Ikaika he married Nohea Ako from the Big Island, um,
Alright.
from Kohana Iki, Kona. Anyway, in fact, Julian Ako is her relative. And you remember Julian? I don't remember him from school, but anyway,
Mm.
um, they had 4 children. Kian Alakai, he graduated from Kamehameha in 2018.
He missed the 05.
Yeah. And then he has Kian Kaden. Kaden's 21. And then Colt is graduating this year. Well, yeah, he's graduating this year. So if he did graduate from Kamehameha, and he was at Kamehameha, but when COVID came out, he started at 7th grade at Kamehameha. When COVID came out, totally, totally, the situation is really bad for the borders. Yeah, they were
Mm.
like so confined. And
Oh,
my grandson was raised on acres of land. He's not used to being so confined. So the school sent all the boarders home, but they were able to come back once it was clear and everything. So my grandson did go back, and this was his freshman year. Then his sophomore year, when he went back, he just didn't have the feeling anymore. Everything just changed for him. So when they were sent home, he went to Konawaina High School and loved it. Well, he came back to Kamehameha, hated it, but they kept his position open because he was the second in his class. Very, very smart and humble and wonderful young man. Well, anyway, he went and talked to the counselor and told him he's gonna go back home. So they kept his spot open even up to his senior year. No,
wow.
yeah. So if he graduated from Kamehameha, he would have been at our reunion. Yeah, but no, it's nice that my son, like I forced my son to go to Kamehameha. There was no ands, ifs, or buts. Brother, you got in Kamehameha, you're going. He didn't want to because he went to St. Joseph, yeah, in Waipahu. And all his friends went to St. Louis.
Okay.
So he wanted to go to St. Louis. He was so upset with us. But hello, mom and dad both graduated from Kamehameha. So he went, and he thanks me every time.
Oh, right on, right on.
Yeah, yep. And then
At least it turned into a positive experience for him. So,
yes. But I'm glad he lets his children make their own choices as far as the school they want to attend. Like I thought he was gonna be adamant and force the issue on Colt, but he doesn't do that to his children. It's just like when COVID came in, his number two son, awesome athlete. I mean, he was even featured on the TV, athlete of the month or whatever. So when they closed sports, my grandson, um, I mean, he's such an avid football player and baseball. And so my niece, Kavehi Holomalia Gonzalez, sa Kalamayao. Anyway, they lived in Santa Ana, and she's a vice principal. The husband was a coach and teacher at OCC, Orange County College, junior college. But they told my son them to let Caden move in with them. They had three sons. Their oldest was at that time at Boise. He was a center for Boise. So they talked about it as a family. They do everything as a family. And Caden went to Villa Park High School, so in Orange County. And that's where he graduated from. He would have loved to have graduated with his Konawaina class, but wasn't meant to be. So, and then my third grandson Colt graduating this year. So
Ikaika likes the names there with K.
yeah, she and Caden, Colt, and they had a surprise. So Colt, they thought they were done right after the three boys. Hello. 8 years later, they had a surprise blessing. They had their daughter, and the boys got to choose her name, and then they chose Kennedy.
Oh, that's cool. I like that
Yeah,
name.
it is nice.
It's different and it
Yeah, yeah. So she's their baby. Then my daughter Susan Lay, um, bless her heart, has been she has a beautiful daughter, Dakota. She never got into Kamehameha, and she should have because she came from a broken family, very, very smart. But it is what it is, and she just had to make the best of it. That was the saddest time of my life with my granddaughter because I was with her since the day she was born. And then when my daughter and her father broke up, um, I had her. And then in 2012, I was supposed to have adopted her. And CPS, the whole thing was a mess. But prior to going to court to do the adoption, I had to get her school. She's going to pediatrician. Um, I don't know what you call it, children dentist. Anyway, um, never happened. CPS lied, and it was really ugly. But look,
uh,
I still kept her. It was 2010. 2012, I couldn't handle it anymore, not having her with me all the time. But I did have her. The father never had her. He used to see her once or twice a year, and CPS gave her to the father who lied. But anyway, everything's really, really good now. She's been living with me since she graduated from Circuit Hearts Academy in 2018. Yeah, so her and Kaden are the same age. My two kids had babies the same year. No plan. And my the younger brother, Keoni, he has cerebral palsy, so he's been in a wheelchair all his life. So beautiful boy.
How old is he?
He's 16 now. Yeah, he's a sophomore at some academy in Waipahu, right across the street from the Wholesale Unlimited in Waipahu.
Mm.
So,
There's so many schools I see popping up,
right?
little charters and little
Yep.
private deals.
And all these charter schools are public, It's
Wow.
free. Well, in Las Vegas, it is. All the charter schools are part of Nevada, so there's no fee. But a lot of private schools. So I retired from Centennial High School as a
You
sped.
would, oh, wow.
Yeah,
How
I
long
was
did you
there
do that?
7 years, and you know who told me about it? Mr. Noah. He called me one day. Tanya, you want to work? And my husband retired in 2012 from the state of Nevada. And so for 1 year, he drove me up absolutely off the wall. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, go back to work, go back to You're driving me nuts. So I went back to work. He worked all his life. So I was like, no, you stay retired. I'll go back to work so I can keep my sanity. So
What
I
did
stayed
Herbie
there.
do for the state of Nevada?
He was at initial initially it was called College of wait, Community College of Southern Nevada, CCSN. But then it changed into a 2 year college, and it was CSN College of Southern Nevada, not
Was,
Community College.
was he like teaching or what?
No, no, he was in maintenance.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and because he was with Hawaiian Electric for 38 years, so he has a nice pension, and then he has his pension from the state and Social Security. So we're living pretty comfortably, but man, medical bills just add up, add up, add up. So I have one account just for medical bills. So, but yep, that's my life right now. A full-time caregiver. So hard, so hard, and every so many people told me just put him in a home. I said no. When I married him, it was for better, for worse. This is the worst. I'm not putting in a home. So he's in a home right now, but I did not put him there. The hospital did. Last week he went into emergency, and so he went to Centennial Hospital, and the next day they says he has too many issues. He needs to go to a um, skilled nursing facility. I was like, what? Because, yeah, and you apparently cannot take care of him. I said, excuse me? I've been doing it for the past 3 years. But he says, and which is true, I don't have the equipment. You know, I waited 2 years for his wheelchair, his electric wheelchair. Oh, sorry, scooter, electric. Waited 2 years. I've been waiting almost a year now for his hospital bed. Nothing. I think it would have been a lot easier if I did get the hospital bed because I got so frustrated. I get so sore from taking because he's heavy, you know. But this most recent trip to the ER was because he kept falling, and I can't lift him. I mean, I now have 8 degenerative discs in my lower back.
Oh boy.
But it is what it is. I have to do it. Nobody else. I don't have anybody else here with
Yeah.
me.
But like you mentioned, either the skills or the equipment, it's necessary. I mean, you could have all the heart you want to do the job,
Yeah.
but without the skills and equipment, it's like you say, it's hard.
Yes. Sorry. I have to manually fill my pool now because my automatic filler went out and I'm not about to pay $7,000 to dig up all the.
Oh,
I'll do that later. Yeah, anyway. Um, what was I saying?
just not having the skills and equipment.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anyway, I cry all the time. I never show him that I cry. I always stay strong when I'm with him. But when I'm not with him, I scream in my pillow. I cry all I like. I come outside in my patio, smoke cigarette after cigarette, and very stressful. And he's such a wonderful man, but I became so frustrated and so impatient. I was not a nice person to him.
Well,
Every
a
day
part of that has to do with, you know, when you're by yourself, you don't get the rest you need
I,
to
I
like
had no rest.
re-energize. Yeah. And that's why you get weak and then you start to bark a little bit
Yeah.
and
Every day I had to pray multiple times a day to ask forgiveness. And every day I had to apologize to my husband. And, and he just said, I understand, you know, that's all. And when
so
I
your
tell him
husband is how old now?
91,
Okay. Mentally, he's still healthy and
no, he's pretty much bedridden already. He needs help with everything. Although on Tuesday when I went to visit him, I go every day. Um, so after we talk, I'll be going there. But I stay with him, help feed because he has to be fed. The day that I went, I seen Tuesday when I walked in, he was sitting up eating his food, or I should say, dropping his food. He was trying to feed himself. So right before the food gets to the mouth, hello, falls all over him. So, so I told him, "Excuse me, you see on top of the black on the wall, the board, it says feeder, which means he needs help to be fed." so so I try to go there during make sure that I let them feed him his breakfast, but I'm always there to feed him his lunch at least. So, but I usually
but
stay anywhere from 3 to 5 hours every day.
yeah. Does he have any trouble with recognition or anything like that or
Yeah, already a couple times, even when we were at home, not more than a couple times. When I walk in, he goes, "Who you?" And I just
wow.
looked at him, and I'm like, "Well, who would you like me to be?" No, I said, "Yeah, you don't know who I am." Right after that, this is seconds after that. "Hi, honey, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine. How are you?" Well, anyway, yeah. So I don't know if he has the beginnings of dementia or you know, but it's been really difficult, and he moans and groans all day long. So I put him in the front bedroom, and I'm by myself in the master, and I'm trying to get my mother to come up. That's how. Hopefully, say pray for me that I will make it home because it really depends on my husband. But my ex-husband,
Oh.
Steven, see, Kuipo has a new, my Mo'opuna, my daughter's daughter, she has a new internship. Guess where her internship is this time? Pearl Harbor.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So she's in this it's called a CYP, Children and Youth Program. So they do teaching, tutoring, and all that kind of stuff. So when she's at school, when she was dorming at Utah Tech, she worked at the Boys and Girls Club full time. She goes to college, school during the day, and then afterwards she works over there. So, so she wanted to become an attorney and be an advocate for children who cannot speak for themselves. But who knows where her mind is going right now? So you always change your um your degree. I mean, not your degree, your major. So
Well, and then sometimes life just
yeah,
sweeps you away. I remember when going to college
truly,
with some people that get a degree and then they start making big money driving a UPS truck. It's
right,
like, well, there went that
right,
education, but
exactly. But ah,
everybody has to make do with what they get. Yeah.
yes, yeah. Like my daughter, unfortunately, chose the wrong path. Susan Lay. She has her bachelor's from UH. She was at UNLV. That's why we moved here to Vegas and we ended up
Mm.
staying. I'll never own a home in Hawaii again.
Yeah. What year did you move to Vegas?
2000, the year my daughter graduated.
Okay.
So I brought her here thinking I was going to stay a couple weeks, make sure she settled in, and then I was going to go home. But my husband said, nope, we're moving. I was like, I don't want to live in Las Vegas. I've lived in Las Vegas before. I said, no, I don't want to live there. But 25 years later, so
Here you are.
yeah, here I am.
Wow. Oh
But
boy.
like, I wish I could pick up my house and my pool and go to Honolulu. But I've had so many offers for my house. But anyway, I was saying, if anything happens to my husband, when our Father in heaven said it's time for him to come home, I'm going to move and try and persuade my mama to move here. I've been trying for over 10 years for her to move with me. Because my mom going to be 99. Hello. I know.
And your mom lives where now?
She lives in a beautiful senior facility in Ever Beach.
Okay.
Really, really nice. Yeah. So I'm supposed to be her caregiver. But since my husband got really sick 3 years ago, couldn't. And I retired from Centennial High School in 2020 to go back to Honolulu to take care of my mom. But
Mm.
so I did take care of her for a while. Then my husband got sick, came here because all his doctors are here. So that's what it is. And then now we're gonna come to our 50th class reunion. So exciting.
Yeah,
I just hope I make it.
you will. Well, you got a lot of support out there,
I do.
a lot
I
of
really,
prayers
really
headed your
do.
way. So
Yeah. So I love being on the committee. Well, I volunteered to help sweet Abby with her T-shirt, but she was also in charge with another the apparel. So I says, okay, I'll help you. Next thing I know, thank you, Tanya, for sharing the T-shirt. I was like, what? I'm not sharing nothing. But you know what? Abby had enough on her plate, so I did do it to help. And it got my mind off of just taking care of my husband. So it worked
yeah,
out. It worked out great.
Well,
because
since you and Abby have that little connection now, next time try put a bug in her ear to do one of these. I've
oh
been
yeah,
asking her and she said she's too shy, and I'm going, I don't know anybody less shy than you, Abby, but you know.
she's such a honey. I'll call her. I'm gonna call. I just finished my interview with Kermit, so you're next.
Oh, and
But
Arlene, I don't know if you have any contact with Arlene. I'd like to.
yeah, I'll call them.
Okay,
I'll call
okay.
both of them.
Awesome.
This is fun. I enjoyed it.
You did
Oh,
great. So,
I hope I was okay.
oh, perfect. You are you, so that
Yeah,
it's always
haven't
gonna be the
changed. Haven't changed except for how I look. No longer the best body in the class. But my more opponents, they all tell me, no way, Tutu. We don't want a skinny grandma. We don't want a skinny Tutu. We like you. You're nice and soft. I'm like, oh my gosh. But
see, it's all the right time at the right place.
yeah, yeah.
Good.
I've
Well,
been
big,
blessed though.
huh?
I've been blessed with two beautiful children,
Hey, that's right on.
six beautiful grandchildren, two husbands. Actually, I gotta mention this though, Kermit. So Stephen Baptista, my children's father, he came up last year, helped me with my husband.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you know, because he's very grateful to my husband for raising his children while he was doing his own thing with his other two wives. Yeah, he had three wives, but I was the only one with children. But
Wow.
anyway, and then so one reason I might not come home was because of my husband's condition. So Steven says, you know what? While you go home, you're not staying there long, right? I said, no, I'm leaving May 21st. Our grandson graduate May 24th. Fly to Honolulu on the 27th, and then for our reunion. And then I'm going to fly back on the 16th of June. So he's going to fly up here on the 19th to
Steven lives where now?
in Waipahu, right
Oh,
behind that
okay.
big park in Waipahu.
Okay.
So it got those two high rises on Paiva Street.
Hmm.
That's where he lives. So, but he's gonna come up here and watch the house and then go visit. He says, "Do I have to visit Herbie every day?" I said, "It'll be nice, but you better. And if you don't, you better go every other day." But he's awesome. He he'll take Herbie. Well, he won't change diapers, which is fine. But they do it there at the facility. But he goes, he sings. You know him. He was always had a beautiful voice. He takes my ukulele and he plays Herbie's Hawaiian music, and cause they talk a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been really blessed.
Okay. So to have the flexibility, then Steven must be retired.
Yes, he retired from the DOD, and
Wow. Okay.
then he was working. When he retired from the DOD, he still stayed, but as a contractor for the government.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, anyhow, but
Well,
we're gotten very very close. So my husband was worried about is what are you? Does he want to get back with you? It's like hello, no, but we're very good friends. So
that's great
yeah,
for the kids too.
no.
So,
Well, my son wasn't too keen about it, not at
okay.
all, because the father always made choices that didn't include them.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I just noticed. I love your background.
Yeah, I just went online and grabbed this and then
Wow,
stuck it into my background thing, and
awesome.
I
Oh,
got I
see, you're
usually
wearing your
try and
shirt, and I'm wearing mine.
yeah, but mine is Bahine basketball. I don't know even know where I got it from,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm an avid basketball fan.
yeah.
For our Centennial girls, what school I retired from, they just took their would have been their 10th straight state. They lost last year.
Wow.
15 state championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Uh, yeah, but I hope you're going to interview. Are you interviewing yourself or someone going to interview you?
I don't know. I mean, I've got a pretty good list going. It's probably gonna. I'm hoping to just take this up to right the point I leave. Post
Yeah.
one or two a day because I already talked to Philip Swain and Stephen Capellas.
Okay.
After you, I've got Richard Bartlett and
Oh,
Kilauea Wilson.
oh my gosh.
Next week, haven't set it firm yet, but good talk to Kathy Thurston, Crystal Rose,
Perfect.
um, Leanne Newhouse. Bye bye.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So and
Oh,
then
we had a great time when they came up a couple years ago. And then this, I heard this, our 70th birthday, they're planning to come to Vegas for our 70th.
wow,
Yeah, so plan for that.
we should even do it. Not wait for the 70.
Yeah, we should do
Or
it
you
every year.
talking? No, you're talking 70th birthday, not 70th reunion.
No, seven
Okay, okay,
70th
okay,
birthday.
okay. It's like wow, 20 more years. That's really going to be a push.
Hello, we're gonna be 88 years old.
Yee.
Yeah, if we even
Ah,
live that long. So,
well, God has His plan, so we'll find
mm,
out.
yeah,
Good.
yep.
Well,
God first.
big mahalo for agreeing to do this with me. I have fun doing them, and it's great to
Was
see
my
you
pleasure.
again and here. I wish circumstances were better, but all the best to
Yeah.
Herbie.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Eh, one more thing. He just got baptized last year in the Mormon church, in the Latter Day Saints. Yeah. One day, because
Wow.
I don't miss church. I go to church every Sunday, sacrament. And he never stops me because he's not Mormon. He's Protestant. But one day I came home last year. I want to be baptized. I said, "You're already baptized. You're baptized in the Protestant church." Nope, I want to go to your church. I want to be baptized. And he did.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so Jeff Noah baptized him, and my baby brother, who's been a bishop a couple times, he confirmed it. So he drove over because he lives in Long Beach, Lakewood, California. My brother. Hmm.
I mean, the Lord acts and you never know when or why or
God is great.
gotta
Hmm.
follow. Right on, right on. Well, we look forward to seeing you in June.
Me too. Pray for me that I do come.
Yeah, yeah, we will.
All right.
Aloha.
Mahalo, Kermit.
Yeah.
Aloha, love you.